Vivek Ramaswamy has finally endorsed Donald Trump. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Unwoke Thoughts. We are talking about Vivek Ramaswamy, one of my favorite ex-presidential candidates. He was a firebrand. He was awesome. He came out onto the scene. Nobody knew who he was. And then all of a sudden, with his fast talking and his based ideas, he started to catch on. And I was one of those people who really started to resonate with the ideas that he was talking about, because as a fan of Donald Trump, it's hard not to be a fan of Vivek Ramaswamy. And just recently, right after the Iowa caucuses, Vivek came up and he suspended his campaign, and he said going forward, he would be endorsing Donald Trump. And just the other day, just yesterday, I believe, in New Hampshire, he went up on stage at Trump's rally, and he had a lot of good things to say about him, including a speech that he made, a very short speech that he made himself.
We believe those ideals still exist. This man is going to be your next president to revive them. E pluribus unum, from many, one. And you know how we're doing it? We're doing it by speaking the truth at every step of the way. There are two genders in this country, period. That is the truth. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Drill, frack, burn coal, embrace nuclear energy. Reverse racism is racism. Open border is not a border. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind. Capitalism lifts us up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government in the United States, not 4. And the U.S. Constitution is the strongest and greatest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We fight for the truth.
Man, I just get chills listening to the guy. He really touches on all of those subjects that really mean a lot to everyday Americans, Trump supporters. He talks about truth. He talks about the gender battle. He talks about immigration. He talks about the border. He talks about all of it, and he says things in very clear and concise language. He doesn't beat around the bush like all of these other candidates did, like Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley. Like, what do they say? Like, at the end of the day, listen to what they're saying. What are they saying? They sound like they have this rehearsed speech that they are bringing to you. It sounds canned. It doesn't sound from the heart. And that's what I think people really loved about Donald Trump. And that is what Vivek Ramaswamy sounds like as well. He sounds like these things are coming from the heart. He's not just reading off of a script. He's not just regurgitating things that his consultants have told him to say. When he speaks with some oomph. And that's what I really like about Vivek Ramaswamy. And I think that's what a lot of Trump supporters like about Vivek Ramaswamy too. So this is a dynamic duo, a dynamic team. And Trump said that Vivek Ramaswamy was going to be working with the Trump team, for a long time. Listen.
Thank you. Wow, how was that? Pretty good, right? That was pretty good, and he's a fantastic guy, and he's really he's got something that's very special, because he started off with a Zippo, and he ended up very strong. He did a great job. I was actually surprised when he called, because he was doing well, and it's an honor to have his endorsement. He's going to be working with us, and he'll be working with us for a long time.
But man, I really like seeing Donald Trump and Vivek come together. And I like the fact that Donald Trump said that Vivek was going to be working for them for a long time. So I don't know if that means that he's going to have a position in his campaign, or if he's going to have some sort of cabinet position. I personally think Vivek would be a great press secretary. I don't think Vivek would take that role because, Vivek is a leader. He's an alpha male. He needs an important role. I know press secretary is an important role, but I don't know if it's important enough for Vivek Ramaswamy. So I guess we shall see what Trump will do with Vivek. But either way, anything that they do together, I think is going to be incredible. And I love to see what is going on. I love that Vivek dropped out, endorsed Trump, and he said, hey, listen, 2024 is for Donald Trump. I'm going to step aside, let Trump in. And that means all those Vivek supporters are probably going to go to Trump, because Vivek supporters are Trump supporters. And I think that's pretty clear to see. But I thought something was very interesting about the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy, he really listens to the grassroots. And when I say he really listens to the grassroots, this is what I mean. This was a tweet by Benny Johnson, but this was news to me. I don't know if you guys remember that viral moment where Vivek Ramaswamy turned the questions around and started asking questions to the debate moderators. And let me show you what I mean here.
And so the fact of the matter is, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
So that moment right there was actually, believe it or not, it came from none other than political commentator and YouTuber Benny Johnson. And watch this. Benny Johnson tweeted this out just today. He said, the biggest shock of 2023 was when I showed up to a Vivek Airbnb in Miami on debate day for an interview, and he asked, so what should I say on stage tonight? What happened next was based an all-time Vivek Ramaswamy performance. The internet speaks for itself. This dude listens. Yeah, this was one of my favorite moments of 2023 when Vivek Ramaswamy confronted the GOP, the debate moderators, and Ronna McDaniel. Now watch this video that Benny Johnson put out on X or Twitter, and it's very crazy because it really shows you that Vivek listens to the grassroots. He listens to people like Benny Johnson and these podcasters or these small political commentators. I know that Benny Johnson's not really small anymore, but he used to be. And I think this really speaks to who Vivek Ramaswamy is.
My recommendation, and I've been waiting for a candidate to do this, my recommendation, and please allow the awkward silence to play out before you when you ask them, did Donald Trump collude with Russia? Can you, Kristen Welker, say right now that Donald Trump did not collude with Russia and that it was a hoax provided by Hillary Clinton? And then do not talk. Yeah. Please do not say anything else. There's a problem is that like you get all this adrenaline going and then everyone blabbers. Let the awkward silence be a stoic man.
Can you say the Hunter Biden laptop was real?
Is the Hunter Biden laptop real?
And so the fact of the matter is, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Roberts.
This is how we get our country back.
Then don't speak. And let that stretch out. Let them squirm. The cameramen, I know exactly how they'll go right back to them because you've posited a question to the host. And you will watch her fiddle with her notes, stare at her shoes. That will be the most viral, like I've been waiting for this. Just be quiet, and let that stretch out.
Because I can do this from last night's, because I can start with the anger at the RNC. At the beginning, anti-Ronna, and then you channel it into they put these people here. It's like the equivalent of having great gut-felt moderated debate between Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Bernie Sanders. It's like just a funny sight. They would never do that, and yet that's what they've done here. But let's use the chance we have right now.
Let me prove
I got some questions.
Let me prove it to you. Yep. Which one is it? I need you to say right now, did Donald Trump collude with Russia? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And when they say no, because there's so many libs that have been lied to them. There's so many people that still in their brains believe that Trump did that because it was repeated to them so often. And to hear the moderators say no, if they have the guts to do it, I don't think they do. But to hear the moderator say no is instant lightning in a bottle. To hear the moderator say, well, we're still looking into it, is lightning in a bottle. Because then they're lying again. And then it's a trap of their own making.
It's on those two questions. We could probably hit a few others, but those are the two best ones.
No, you only want, because you want to have space for awkward silence.
Those are the two, yeah. And a minute and a half for the opening, though. I think it's pretty good, actually. And here's evidence of bad judgment. And you could say, is this the candidate's problem? No, there's different candidates, different cycle. It's a problem of the RNC is not failing to channel the anger against Joe Biden, which we see in every single poll, in every single economic result, into a result in an election. And you want to know why you're making boneheaded decisions like the one we have tonight. Why don't we stop Tucker Carlson and go down the list?
And be super polite, where you're like, no offense. Yeah. By the way, nothing personal, Kristen, or I think it's Kristen Welker. Yeah. Yes. Nothing personal here.
I think that's actually pretty strong, actually, that way.
But yeah, nothing personal, right? It was never personal with like Donald Trump and Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't Megyn Kelly, I hate you, you're dumb face. Like it was
personal.
Yeah. It was, you're setting up a trap for me, so I'm going to set up a trap for you. Only Rosie O'Donnell, right? Like that's a trap. Yeah. So now suddenly, and then the audience cheers, and then you set them. They're completely off balance because then the audience is against them, and they feel the heat on their back. And then whatever she says. So again,
I actually stay off it.
Only Rosie O'Donnell. That's a perfect trap for Megyn Kelly. Now she's playing his game, not the other way around. So when you say whatever she says, Vivek, is news. Whatever.
She'll just be silent, yeah.
The only response. Silence is news.
Did Trump collude with Russia in the 2016 election? Or was that a made-up Hillary Clinton hoax?
What are the 3 things she's going to do? She won't do it, but she could potentially say, no, Donald Trump did not collude with Russia. She probably won't say it, but that's news. If she says, we're still looking into it, or I don't know, that's news. Or if she's silent. Awkward silence, or trying to change the subject.
Say, you were the ones asking the questions tonight. They'll say, no, you're not.
Yeah, trying to change the subject.
No, you're not. Just trying to change the subject.
You say, this
is important tonight.
Yeah, you say, because this is as much a referendum on you as it is on me.
Yeah.
And this is a conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then listen,
So
dude.
then I scare off competitors in the opening statement.
Yes, dude.
And I play time for them later. I play time for them later.
So that is a look behind the scenes. I guess now that Vivek Ramaswamy has suspended his campaign and has officially endorsed Donald Trump, Benny Johnson was allowed to release that footage. But I think that is incredible. A look behind the scenes of Vivek Ramaswamy, an absolute firebrand, a bombshell, just coming on the scene and just killing it every single day with headline after headline. He had the most viral GOP debate moment I have ever seen. I absolutely loved it. And I just think this is going to be a great duo, Vivek and Donald Trump. And then in 2028, if Vivek's still in the game, man, if he's still talking like he was talking back in 2023 and, for the first, part of the month of January 2024, I would 100% support the guy. So it's great to see this. It's great to look behind the scenes and see, what was going through his mind and how he decided to ask those questions to those moderators in that GOP debate. And the fact that Benny Johnson was involved, some people might not like that, but I do like that. Because as a presidential candidate, you've got to have consultants. You got to have advisors. And for him to have Benny Johnson as an advisor, that just shows to me that Vivek Ramaswamy really listens to the populace, really listens to the people. But what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think of Vivek Ramaswamy and Donald Trump teaming up? Do you think Vivek Ramaswamy might be Donald Trump's VP? In one of those videos you heard the crowd chanting VP, VP, VP. I would love to see it, but personally, I don't think that'll ever happen. As much as I want that to happen, I don't think that will happen because Vivek Ramaswamy, he's a leader. He's kind of a forward-facing individual. He needs a more, more public role. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. But until then, I will see you on the next one.